What is going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard at Graybeard Gaming Group. Today is Thursday, November 19th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. So over the last few weeks, we've gotten some messages asking us what our favorite skill build is to run in Legendary content, so today we're going to show you a little footage and then walk you through the build itself. Now, if you happen to be new to our channel, first of all, welcome. Secondly, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help us out. Now, most of you that have seen my build videos before know I always lead off with saying this is just a template, really make this thing your own. Not only that, this build is far from perfect. A lot of pieces can be improved, but this way you can see you can get through Legendary without all perfect stuff. The other thing I want to mention is the fact that this build that you're seeing is pre-Title Update 12, and once that drops, everything is going to change in regards to the way skill builds are run. There are going to be a lot of hybrids, which put out a lot of skill and weapon damage at the same time. And the only reason I bring that up is that I know a lot of gamers were kind of bummed out when they saw that pretty much everything in TU12 was kind of skill related, but the fact is that especially for solo players and in a group as well, these builds are extremely effective. You can see by the footage I'm in the summit running Legendary difficulty on my own, and the thing is with these skill builds, once you find a good vantage point, you're putting out a ton of damage, you don't really need to worry about your armor, and you're getting through the content pretty quickly. Now at this point, my friends, we're just going to cut to the build itself, walk you through it, and like I said before, far from perfect, but as you can see from the footage, it definitely gets the job done. And as we move on, if any of you have a desire to see one of our other Legendary builds, it's a super tanky shield handgun build. It's probably something you guys have seen before, but let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely post that next week. As always, we're going to start off with the specialization. Now, I'm running Technician, not because of the extra skill tier, because with all of my stuff, I'm already pretty much maxed out at skill tier 6, but I'm using it because you get that 12% damage to drones, skill proxies, and other robotics. Now, I know a lot of gamers also like to run with Demolitionist because they can use the artillery turret. That's really up to you. Again, really make sure you fit this towards your game style. Now, one of the most important pieces in this build has to do with your weapon, and what you're running in your primary weapon does not matter at all as long as it has the talent in sync. That is the most important aspect. You can see it says hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 15% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. For my secondary weapon, I'm running with the named AR Mechanical Animal, and that is because of the talent Future Perfection. Weapon kills grant +1 skill tier for 19 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Weapon kills at skill tier 6 grant overcharge for 15 seconds. And as we move on to the gear itself, I want to mention another great weapon you can run with this build. It's called the Harmony. That's the named rifle, and it has the talent perfectly in sync, which gives you a slightly higher percentage to your weapon and skill damage buff. Now on to the gear itself, my friends. You can see I'm running 1-piece Wyvern, 2-piece Hanayu, and 3-piece Murakami. We'll start with the 1-piece of Wyvern, which is the mask. And we're doing that so we get that extra skill damage bonus, and we're just stacking skill haste, skill damage, and skill duration. Now moving on to the body armor, it's our first piece of Murakami, and we're running a 3-piece set so we get that 20% skill duration, 20% repair skills, and 10% skill damage. You can see we're stacking skill damage and skill haste, and the talent on here is kinetic momentum. You can see it says when in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2% up to 15 stacks per skill, lost when on cooldown. Next, moving on to our holster, it's our first piece of Hanayu, and we're running a 2-piece Hanayu build so we get that extra skill haste and skill damage, and you can see here we're also stacking skill haste and skill damage in the attributes. Now with the skill haste, you can really stack anything there. I haven't had the best luck getting mods, so I'm pretty much stacking skill haste because that's kind of all I got right now. Now moving on to the knee pads, it is our second piece of Murakami. I'm running Emperor's Guard only because this is the best set of Murakami knee pads I have. I'd much rather, you don't need these named ones, it gives me armor regen, but that doesn't really help me with this build. I would much rather have, skill duration or skill haste in that slot, but again, you get what you get. Now moving on to the gloves, third piece of Murakami, we have skill damage, and again, this is the best one I have, we also have hazard protection. Finally, my friends, we're on to the backpack. It is our second piece of Hana U. It is the named backpack force multiplier. We have crit hit damage, and skill duration, and it comes with the talent perfectly combined arms. With that skill, shooting an enemy increases your skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds, and for solo players, you're the only one shooting things, so that buff is constantly running, and it just puts out a ton of damage. Now, in regards to the actual skills themselves, I'm running with the assault drone and the assault turret. Those are my two favorite, but like I said earlier, really pick whatever skill you enjoy running the most, and that's the one you should go with. And on that note, my friends, I think we're going to wrap up this video. As always, I want to thank you all so much for the continued support. You guys are amazing, and I really hope videos like this do help you out. As I mentioned before, this is just a template. This is something I really enjoy using. Like, I use this build for, it shreds through heroic content. With Legendary, it does the job as well, but I use this for, farming, control points, pretty much everything, and it's a lot of fun to use and does a lot of damage. Now, I can guarantee you, when TU12 comes out, we're going to be bringing you guys a lot of build videos. There are so many different variants that are coming up. I mean, just in regards to different weapons you can use and new exotics and new gear sets. It's going to be a lot of fun. As always, make sure if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. One thing I love about our community is that, when we post videos like this, all of the feedback and different ideas we get from you guys, it's amazing, and that's exactly why we built this channel. Having said that, my friends, at this point, we're just going to let the video play out. Like I mentioned before, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of what we're doing here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. But most importantly, take care, be kind, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.